Hi everyone, it's Kino here. Welcome to this yoga practice designed to give you all the tools you need for reverse plank. This is a really powerful posture that has the ability to strengthen your back. I'll be using 2 blocks and a bolster to help you find your entry into the posture. Now, if you enjoy this video, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So click the subscribe button and we can practice together every day. When you're ready to reverse plank, let's come to a comfortable seated position, close the eyes, and gently bring the hands together. As you exhale, let's rest the hands down, slowly open the eyes. Now, reverse plank posture is actually a back bending motion with an internal rotation of the shoulders. That sounds like a lot of anatomy. Don't worry, we're going to break it down. We're actually going to start off in a very gentle version of this pose, the deconstructed variation, which is one of my favorite versions. So you see I'm stacking the blocks. Do that also. Again, find your bolster, and you're going to angle the bolster kind of at a comfortable angle. So it's almost like a mini, very relaxed recliner chair. Then you're going to move your hips close to the bolster and then exhale, lie down on the bolster. All right, that's not too bad, huh? So then let's extend the legs. Now you're going to play around right now with the arms. So this is kind of the chest position that we want to find in reverse plank. Now we want to add internal rotation of the shoulders. So let's come up onto the fingertips and then make sure your hips are well situated. Then slide the fingers back and then play around with, if it's higher, it's going to be less demand. So you may need to prop it a little bit higher. I want you to point your feet and then slowly just walk the fingers back. Oh, the good news is that we don't actually have to go this far back in Purvottanasana. So let's stay here for a couple breaths and feel the restrictions that might be present because you'll be bumping up against this when we do our reverse plank. Now we breathe, and so you have 1 deep breath in, deep breath out. We only stay for 5. Find the softness and the ease in the joints. 2, 3, 4, 5. You might start to feel a little pull on the shoulders. That internal rotation can be quite intense. So let's come up onto the tips of the fingers and start to walk yourself off of the bolster. All right, that's about as good as Purvottanasana gets. Let's move the bolster over to the side. All right, and now we're going to work on the pelvic position. So I want you to spin around and keep the blocks at the same height. Then let's lie down right in front of the blocks. You're going to scoot a little forward. Then inhale, lift the hips up and slide the blocks under the sacrum. The first thing we're going to do is with bent knees. I want you to just reach down and we'll kind of have a supported bridge pose. So Purvottanasana is a supported bridge pose. Another variation or alternative you can take is reverse tabletop. So this will prepare you for reverse tabletop. So let's just stay here again, a couple of breaths, drawing the knees a little towards each other. Let's go for 3 more breaths. And you notice I'm kind of sliding the knees in. That's internally rotating the hip joints. This will assist you when we get to reverse plank. 2 more breaths. Let's go for 1 more breath. That's good. Now, straighten the legs. Ooh, and that gets a little hard. All right, so we're going to get that feeling where the legs straighten. And then everybody wants to squeeze the kind of toes together, but now you know that you're going to internally rotate the hip joints, and that will elevate the pelvis, draw the iliac crest a little bit forward, and give the hips a little bit of lift. And now we're working the flexibility that we would need for reverse plank. And let's stay for 1, 2, 3. Notice the places of tightness. 4. Try to draw the navel in. So one of the big mistakes that many students make, both in reverse tabletop and in reverse plank, is that they breathe into the lower abdomen. But you can see that the whole abdominal cavity here needs to kind of draw in. So all the organs of the abdomen kind of flatten, the navel flattens, and then we still do diaphragmatic breathing, but the diaphragm really wants to concentrate itself around the vicinity of the lower ribs, and we do not want to push the belly out, okay? All right, I would say that's been 5. So let's bend the knees, let's lift the hips, let's slide 1 block over to the side and 2 blocks over to the side, and then we come on down. All right, now I want you to slowly rise up. We're going to bend the knees, and now we're going to roll the shoulders forward. Let's go for now reverse tabletop. Draw the navel in, then send the pelvis forward, and then inhale, lift the ribs away from the hips. We're rolling the shoulders forward, drawing the knees towards each other. If it's hard for you to draw the knees towards each other, you can place a block between the knees. Let's stay for 3 breaths more. All right, 2 breaths. 1 more breath, and then exhale, let's set it down. Good job. So remember, we do not want to have the belly out. So if we breathe like this, this will put a lot of pressure on the lower back. So let's not do that. All right, so we're going to point the feet. Now we're going to work only the upper body for reverse plank. So we keep the legs straight, the toes are pointed, hands back behind you. Pull the belly in. And then inhale, lift the center of the chest up. And here's where we work with the neck. Roll the shoulders forward and let the trapezius muscle come up to support the neck. Don't look back, but look up to the ceiling. Lift the chest up. And we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Let's pull it down. Now we can enter the posture from either this position or the other one. Let's actually try them both. Now we're going to send the pelvis up and forward, and then inhale all the way up. Good job. Don't worry about touching the toes down. If they want to touch down, they will. And then exhale, we set it down. Now, for those of you that have a harder time doing your back bend, you might find that it's useful to get the back bend happening first, but avoid squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other, because that's going to not give you the support you need for the neck, and compress the spine rather than give the spine the space to bend. So shoulders forward, spinal extension, and then inhale, lift the hips up. Good job. Let's stay 2 breaths. Gaze at the nose tip on this one. 1 breath. Exhale, we put it down. Ooh, now I want you to cross your feet, shake out the hands. Let's do a counter stretch. So come forward, bend the knees in, and child's pose. Good. Rest. Deep breath in, deep breath out. 1 more. That's good. Inhale, let's lift the chest up, and exhale gently. Come on back to seated. Now, what you'll notice is that it's still a plank pose, which means it's still quite hard. Reverse tabletop, reverse plank still require a lot of strength mentally, physically. So work wherever your body tells you is appropriate. It might change day by day. All right, let's close the eyes and extend the arms, tips of the index fingers touching. 5 deep breaths. 1, gaze at the nose tip. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bring the hands together. A long, deep breath in. As you exhale softly, open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this practice. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love.